Welcome to our guide on debt and credit score management in South Africa. In this video, we'll explore what credit scores are, why they matter, and practical strategies to improve them. Let's dive in. Credit scores are not just numbers, they are critical in determining your financial health. In this short video, we'll cover the essentials of managing your debt and credit score effectively, helping you navigate the financial landscape with confidence. A credit score is a numerical representation of your creditworthiness. In South Africa, this score ranges from 0 to 999 depending on which rating system is being used. One thing they all have in common is that higher numbers or ratings indicate lower risk for lenders and a better credit score. A good credit score opens doors to better financial opportunities. It can lead to lower interest rates on loans, easier access to credit, and even reduced insurance premiums. Banks, finance companies, retailers, even landlords use your credit score to determine how financially dependable you are. A poor score could result in you not getting a loan, paying higher interest rates, or not being considered for that car, house, or apartment you had your heart set on. Late payments, non-payments, judgments, high credit card balances relative to your credit limits, and a lack of credit history are common factors that can negatively impact your credit score in South Africa. Credit reports compile your credit history and are crucial for assessing your financial health. They are compiled by credit bureaus and can be accessed for free annually in South Africa. There are several misconceptions about credit scores, such as the belief that checking your own score harms it. In reality, checking your own score has no impact. These are the most common myths about credit scores. Myth 1: I've only ever borrowed small amounts, so my score will be good. Credit scores allow lenders to judge whether you are suitable for credit, using information about your previous borrowing and repayment history. If you've never borrowed, or only borrowed a small amount of money, then it's harder for lenders to judge your habits. This uncertainty can unfavorably affect your credit score. Myth 2: My credit score will always stay the same. Your credit score will almost certainly change over time. Credit scores are based on your financial repayment history and personal information. So, if this changes, for example, if you take out a new credit card or change addresses, your credit score might do as well. Myth 3: There's no point in me paying off a credit card balance in full. This is most definitely incorrect. When you pay your balances in full, you are proving that you can afford your credit, which can have a positive impact on your credit score. Lenders offer the best deals to consumers who have good credit scores and have proved that they can repay their credit. Myth 4: I've got several credit cards but I always pay my bills, so this won't affect my score. Having multiple credit accounts open, even ones that you don't use, can damage your credit score. In this case, it's all about balance, not having too few or too many accounts open at one time. Myth 5: My low credit score means I'll be put on a credit blacklist. There is no such thing as a credit blacklist. When you apply for credit, your financial history is taken into account, and decisions are made based on your repayment history and your current levels of money owed. Myth 6: I've never borrowed before, so my score must be great. If you have never borrowed credit before, then it's difficult for lenders to assess how reliable you are. This can negatively affect your score and consequently the financial products you're offered. Myth 7: A family member's bankruptcy will bring my own score down. Your credit score assesses you individually. The financial situations of your family or friends will not affect your score. Myth 8: There's nothing I can do about a poor credit report and score. Every credit bureau has different criteria, but there are some universal, practical things you can do to improve your credit information. These include making sure all your accounts are registered to the correct addresses, paying bills on time and only keeping and opening lines of credit you need and use open. You can easily check your credit score online through credit bureaus like TransUnion, Experian, and others. Regular monitoring is essential to track changes and detect any inaccuracies or even fraudulent activity on your identity number and name. To improve your credit score, focus on making payments on time, reducing debt balances, and correcting any errors on your credit report promptly. Effective debt management begins with budgeting. Create a budget to control spending and allocate funds towards paying off debts. Debt consolidation can also be a viable option to streamline repayments. Register with a credit bureau to monitor your credit score on a regular basis, request your credit report at least annually, review your credit record to check for any areas of improvement and errors on your report, and dispute any incorrect listings. Further actions you can take is to stop taking more credit than you can afford, make payments on time. Spend within your means, and little-known trick is to keep old accounts open after paying off the balance, as this reduces the percentage debt outstanding against your available credit limits. However, you need to be careful not to have too many such open and unused accounts, as this can also negatively affect your credit record. The key is balance. Finally, if you really cannot manage your own debt, then consider going into debt counseling for a specialist in debt management to assist you in solving the debt trap. Debt counselors in South Africa offer valuable guidance on managing debt, negotiating with creditors, and entering debt review or restructuring plans tailored to your financial situation. Under the National Credit Act, borrowers in South Africa have rights protecting them from unfair debt collection practices. It's important to know your rights and responsibilities when dealing with debt. Your rights are as follows: you have the right to apply for credit, but if you are declined, you have the right to be given reasons for the declined credit application. The right to be protected against discrimination when applying for credit as a result of your gender, race, marital status, and so on. The right to be protected from a reckless credit agreement. A consumer must be assessed on your understanding of the costs, risks, rights and duties under the credit agreement, your repayment history and existing financial situation, in order to determine whether you will be able to repay the credit, the affordability assessment. You also have the right to receive a quotation setting out the amount, interest rate, other charges, and total costs under the credit agreement. The right to receive information and documents in a plain and understandable language in order for you to make an informed decision when entering into the credit agreement. The right to receive information and documents in an official language you can read or understand. The right to receive information and documents in a manner as prescribed by law or as chosen by you, for example, by post, email, fax, in person, and so on. The right to receive a free replacement copy of documents. However, frequent requests for the same documents may be subject to a fee. The right to not be held liable for the use of your credit facility after you have reported the loss or theft of your card, PIN, or something similar. The right to apply for debt review or debt counseling if you cannot afford to repay your credit, rearrangement of your credit obligations. Furthermore, you have the right to surrender the goods purchased under the credit agreement, to return the goods to the credit provider in order to have them sold to settle the outstanding amount. The right to access and challenge information held by a credit bureau. You may request such information, free of charge, once every 12 months. The right to receive regular statements of account setting out the current balance, amounts paid, charges and next installment date, and finally, the right to protection of information by treating it as confidential and only to be used for the purpose consent was given. In conclusion, managing your debt and credit score in South Africa is crucial for financial stability. By understanding your credit score, implementing effective debt management strategies, and seeking professional guidance when needed, you can pave the way to a healthier financial future.
Thank you for being part of the EDPF Academy #1 Million Title Deeds project. We hope you will continue your journey to property ownership with us by registering for our Academy course at www.edpfacademy.app or visit our main site at www.edpf.co.ca for more information about EDPF.